Hello, and thank you for joining us here on the Neutral Zone. I am Phil Milani, joined as always by my trusty sidekick, my partner in crime. Really, the best way to describe this person is my everything. It's at Eric Dalala.
Phil, nice to join you again this week.
You join me every week.
But this week it's particularly nice.
Oh, why? Why would you say that?
Just I needed it this week. I needed to do the Neutral Zone.
A little bit of a pick-me-up.
Yeah, exactly.
A Thursday pick-me-up.
You got to get through the week somehow.
Yeah. I look forward to when the Neutral Zone, when it drops, every week.
Always ready.
Yeah. Last week, Eric, on the Neutral Zone, we did our top Broncos offensive team.
That's right.
We had a nice little draft. We went back and forth.
We did.
We picked one by one the player from their Broncos years, their peak Broncos years.
Yes.
We picked that player from based off of that, and then assembled a team that would play for one season.
One season.
That was sort of the idea.
It was.
Peak performance from their Broncos tenure that you would assemble a team together to play 1 year. So that was sort of the idea.
We're doing special teams this week.
I think we'll do defense.
Oh, okay. That works. Special teams
Special
next week.
teams is a little bit obvious, I think.
Ooh.
Or do you think we should have
No.
I don't think NZ Nation would love that.
No. It's a lot of long snappers to choose from, though.
There are a lot of
Yeah.
but none compared to Casey Kreider.
That's true. It's our guy.
That is our guy. So anyway, we went back and forth. I had to make an edit on mine.
Yes, you
I
did.
made a dumb pick.
Yeah. What did you do?
I was a little unprepared.
What'd you do?
I don't really want to.
Okay.
That was last week.
Yeah.
Moving on. I'm kind of like.
Did you say something like rude?
No.
No. Just uninformed.
Yeah.
Got it.
Which is a first for me on this show.
Right.
So.
Yeah.
It's kind of tough.
I mean, who really could have known that Isaiah McKenzie didn't play right tackle?
He would be a little bit small.
A little bit small. That's why when you said it, I was like, that's interesting.
But today we're going to do defense.
Okay.
So we're moving on. I'm excited about it.
Yep.
I'm pumped up about it.
You're fired up.
But before I get to that, I wanted to read a couple of YouTube comments.
Okay.
Eric, because, I don't know, we're here for the people.
We're here.
You know, this is an interactive show.
Let's get them going.
Let's interact. You know, you made fun of me last week because I took Tom Nalen
First.
That was my first pick,
Yeah.
center.
Uh-huh.
Bill Bell Eli. No. Maybe that's another L. Bill Bell L.
Okay.
Center is the only offensive position that always touches the ball on every offensive play. Okay?
That's not
There
true.
can be a direct snap to players other than the quarterback. So center is sort of the QB of the O-line. Center screws up, and most things that can happen are bad. Don't diss the position.
There's not a single direct snap all of last year, I don't think.
Well, there could be, though.
There could be. Like even on that little trick play with Drew Lock in L.A., I think he caught the snap first, didn't he?
Yeah. But you could do a direct snap.
Maybe he didn't. I don't
Maybe if
remember.
you wanted to mix it up.
That's true.
Pat Shermer doesn't really mix it up too much.
Who, Blast?
Of course, Philip Lindsay took a direct snap.
Well, sure, that was for different reasons.
Yeah. So, Bill Bell L.
That's great. I mean, we've got this camera set up, Phil. You touch the camera every time we do the podcast.
Yeah.
That doesn't make you the most important part of this podcast.
No, my hot takes make me
Got it. Got it.
I sort of make this whole thing run.
I tell you to go set up,
Make
and
this
then
operate.
I walk into the podcast studio and I say, let's go.
No.
And we just start.
What a delusional world that you live in. Jonesy Gaming.
Almost lost my list.
Phil won that draft without a doubt. Julius Thomas had one of the most dominant stretches a tight end has ever had, and considering that you're only drafting him as a Bronco, that gap between him and Sharp is there, but it decreases due to the Manning chemistry. I'm just reading what the
you're scrolling past the ones that are like
That's
this.
not my burner account.
Okay.
Stan Burgess. I've been watching forever, but this is my first comment. I enjoy the humor, but I always learn things. Great podcast, guys.
Thank you, Stan.
Let's see. Tom Magnetti had a nice little comment. Let me see who else. I think somebody said that you won, but
you're scrolling through
on
the hundreds of comments where they're like, Eric won.
Blessed Finesse. If you keep letting your hair look like that, we're going to have to change your name from Phil to Philp. I'm not sure what that means. But somebody get this man a brush and some water ASAP.
Some water.
Yeah. Maybe just to help it
get going.
Yeah, help it get going a little bit. LOL. Love the show, guys. Keep being great. Go Broncos. That's from Xavier from Des Springs.
Des Springs?
I think that's Colorado Springs.
Yeah. Maybe Glenwood Springs.
Yeah. How do you feel about this one? Glenwood Springs, you think?
Yeah.
I don't know if you refer to that as Des Springs.
I think that's what I do.
Pablo Escobar, thanks for these. These are great to listen to in the background. What do you think about
Pablo
that?
Escobar is listening
Yeah.
in the back to the neutral zone in the background.
Yeah, what do you think? Like, it's sort of like a comment, like it's like, good job, but also this is only good for the background.
Yeah, I think we skipped that one.
I don't know. Okay, T.O. Lewis, or T.O. Louise. I'm going to buy Phil a comb.
Wow, you're taking some bullets.
Stan Burgess.
Oh, again?
Yeah, Eric won the all-time offense.
Thanks, Stan.
Pablo Escobar again. How old is Eric? But he spelled it with an E. That's a diss.
Got me.
That's a diss.
Got me.
Lisa B. These guys are dorky. Okay? And we'll wrap up here with Astrozona says Phil is a nerd.
You got dork and nerd in one podcast?
Then Kamal Abdallah.
What?
I'm just reading. Phil is smart. Astrozona follows up and said, I like Phil. Ha ha ha. I don't know the ha. What's the ha ha ha? And then Kamal responded again with just a thumbs up. So,
Oh, yeah. You always got to get the last emoji.
yeah. Yeah. So thank you for those YouTube comments. That's on the Broncos official YouTube page. Go there, subscribe. How do you
You smash the subscribe
smash
button.
those? Yep. And then go ahead and leave a comment because this is an interactive show. You leave a comment, we read it, take it to heart. I tried to comb my hair better this week.
Yeah. You going to try to be less of a nerd or no?
No, still no.
Same level of
Are
nerd.
you going to be a dork?
Maybe. Probably.
Probably. Eric, what are the other ways that NZ Nation could get involved in this program?
Well, you could call in and you could leave a voicemail. We had a nice caller leave 4 voicemails
Oh,
this week.
how was that?
First voicemail said, oh, this isn't the neutral zone. Second voicemail said, oh, this actually is the neutral zone. Third one was some profanity-laced message. And then the fourth one said we did a great job.
Oh,
He didn't leave his name, so we can't really play it.
mystery caller.
Yeah, but to do that, you call 707-NEUTRAL. You leave a voicemail. Apparently, it's a little bit confusing who you're calling, but you leave
Ben
a
Swanson
voicemail.
has set this up, sort of.
Yeah, kind of weird,
You don't
but-
really know.
We'll play it right here on the air. He was referencing, of course, a commenter last week who said, "Shout out my commenter, I'll never watch again."
Oh yeah,
And we related
did.
it. We related it to those emails that you got that were like, "Forward this on," or "A clown will find you in your sleep."
Yeah, yeah.
And the voicemailer thought that was very funny.
That was.
It was funny.
It was funny.
Yeah, it wasn't. He didn't.
Objectively, it was
Everyone
funny.
thought it was funny.
Yeah.
Or, Phil, you could leave an email, neutralzoneshow@gmail.com. Maybe you don't want to talk to anybody.
Yeah.
Maybe you got to be quiet because the clown's looking for you, so you just want to type out a
Hiding.
message.
You're
You're in hiding. We could read that right here on the air, too.
Huh?
Or you could tweet at us directly on Twitter, at Eric Delisle with an A, at Phil Milani with a PH.
Those are non-traditional.
Non-traditional spellings.
Yeah. People have picked up on the non-traditional
They
spellings.
have, like our friend Zach with a C.
They're spelling my name just FIL now,
Right.
which is, of course, the more traditional way. I appreciate that. Thank you.
Well, but you wanted to spell it correctly, right?
Well, I mean, if you're
Either
in
way,
on it.
if you're in on it,
If you
then-
know, you
if
know.
IYKYK.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So, isn't there like some sort of a podcast Twitter account too or something?
At Broncos Podcast.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Never. I don't
You've
know
never
what
been
that is.
there?
I don't know what that is.
They retweeted me the other day.
Oh, really?
I think our friend Roya Burton runs that.
Oh, she's still there.
She won't give up control.
Got it. Yeah. That's good.
She works, of course, in personnel. George Payton has her doing
Yeah.
many important tasks, but
Yeah.
she'll say, "George, I'll get to those after I do the podcast."
She did such a good job with the podcast that they were like,
"We need her to pick which players."
Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah.
So
Impressive.
it is. It is. So please get in touch with the show. We'd love to
touch.
hear from you. This is an interactive sort of situation here. So
I'm ready.
You ready?
I'm ready.
Okay, Eric, let's dive into our all-time top Broncos defense. Let's just refresh everybody how this works, okay? I pick a player, you pick a player. We don't have to go position by position. We're just assembling a defense, okay?
Yep.
And the criteria we're using to pick these players is from their Broncos tenure. So if a player played for a different team, let's say like DeMarcus Ware, for example, you don't get to pick how he played with the Cowboys.
Right.
Just for when he was with the Broncos.
Yep.
And we'll take that player, assemble his team, and have them play for 1 year together.
Okay.
Not like you're starting a franchise, none of that. Just this is for 1 year.
Yeah.
Okay?
And we're going to do, so people know, we're doing a 3-4 defense.
3-4 defense.
3
yes.
defensive linemen, 4 linebackers,
Yes.
and we're just doing 2 corners, no nickel.
No nickel.
Base defense.
Yeah.
Like the old days
Traditional.
when football was football.
Yeah, when you could hit somebody.
Now are you drafting a defense, Phil, with my offense in mind to try to stop it, or is it?
No, I don't think so.
Okay.
Just in general.
Because
This is to go up against anybody.
You probably can't stop my offense, so. Okay. Well, you're going to go first this week.
Yeah, you went first last week. I gave you the.
You lost last week, so the loser got to go first this week.
Before we get started, did you find picking a defense was more difficult or less difficult than the offense?
I think this will be more interesting
yeah.
strategy-wise because a lot of defensive positions have more, like you need 2 edge rushers, you need 2 corners, you need 2 safeties, whereas the only positions last time we did this was you needed 2 guards and you needed 3 wide receivers. So every other position was like, if I drafted a quarterback, you could wait.
Yeah, exactly.
Whereas now, if you take a safety, I might have to take a safety so that you don't get the top.
There's a little bit of
more strategy, I think.
And
you're a strategic thinker.
I am.
So I'm a little worried.
And the other thing is like with the offense, where to go first was a little more like, what's the gap?
Yeah.
What's the gap? What's a drop off after this guy? On the defensive side of the ball, there's no huge gaps between like 1 and 2. I feel. Yeah.
Okay.
No, I didn't feel like there was one area that you're like you got to get this guy first.
Okay.
Sort of the way you did last week. Your first pick was Shannon Sharp. You thought there was a considerable drop off after that. That's why I picked Tom Nealon first. That didn't really happen this time. So anyway, let's get into it, Eric.
Well, we don't really know what happened. But you're going to go first. You're going to go first.
Yeah, when I went through it is what I'm saying. So number 1, I'm going to go with Champ Bailey.
Okay.
I feel like he's the best defensive player in Broncos history.
Wow. I think that's fair.
That's what I'm going to say.
It's either him or
First ballot Hall of Famer.
Yes.
There was a period there where if you threw it Champ's way, it was getting intercepted.
Yeah. I think I saw a tweet that said water covers 70% of the earth. The rest is covered by Champ Bailey.
That's true. Did you come up with that?
I didn't.
Oh, got it.
Champ, it's a good pick, and we love Champ.
We love Champ.
Great guy.
We did a nice little feature on Champ going back to Georgia. We went to Athens.
Yeah. Back home?
Talked to his coach. Oh, we did not go back home.
Oh, sorry.
But just to Georgia.
Oh, got it.
And it was
my home.
Look, exactly. Yeah. First ballot Hall of Famer, Eric.
Yes. Powerful Hall of Fame speech.
Yeah,
nice guy.
Really great Hall of Fame speech. Brought up some important issues in his speech. So, I'm going Champ Bailey, number 1.
Nice. Okay. My first overall pick, I think this should also be no surprise. The one, the only, Von Miller.
Okay, see, this is what I was thinking because I was wondering how you were going to do this. So,
yep. No, I think it's Von, obviously the all-time leading sack artist in franchise history. Okay. He's also, I think, definitely a Hall of Famer. We'll see if he's a first ballot guy. You never really know, but Super Bowl 50 MVP. You think about positions that are important: lockdown corner, dominant edge rusher. Those are the Champ and Von to me are in a different class than everybody else.
Yes, he's the career sack leader for the franchise. So,
and this is where the draft starts because I think those two are pretty clear.
Well, I was interested to see if I went Champ first, if you would try to get the number 2 cornerback.
No, because I think there's a little bit of debate about who the number 2 corner is.
Okay, got it. Interesting.
Interesting.
I think there is a little bit of a debate here. There's some area. I think there is some wiggle room here. God, I don't know what I'm going to do. I'm kind of a little.
I'm in your head. This is good. This is good podcasting.
Okay, fine. I'm going to change what I was going to do. I'm going to go. Okay, I'm going to go Randy Gradishar.
Oh.
Yeah, I'll go Randy Gradishar.
Okay.
Okay. The 1978 Defensive Player of the Year, 7 Pro Bowls, should be in the Hall of Fame. Eric, I'm going Randy Gradishar.
Randy Gradishar. Okay.
Yeah. I debated there though for a long time going cornerback again.
Oh, corner again.
Yeah. But
Yeah. See,
I was thinking about doing.
There's 3 corners that I'm
sticking to my board.
I'm fine with. I think.
Okay.
But maybe I'm playing some games with you.
Yeah, you are.
I am going to go with a guy that I think, and Randy Gradishar, great player.
Let me just keep in mind here, Champ Bailey and Randy Gradishar are on my team, so you should be a little rattled right now.
Yeah, this is tough because there's a lot of great players here. Inside linebacker could go there. I think I'm going to go with a guy, Phil, because you mentioned drop-off. I think the one area there is some drop-off is the defensive line.
Oh, yeah. Sure. There is a little bit of a drop-off there.
And I'm going to pick a guy who 3-time first-team All-Pro, would have been a Hall of Famer, I think a fan favorite. I'm going to go with Tombstone.
Oh, yeah, the head slap.
Yeah.
Can't really do that these days, so I'm not sure.
No, you're allowed to play the way you play.
Okay, got it.
Okay, so
yes. Tombstone Jackson in the Black College Hall of Fame. When you've got a name like Tombstone, you're, am I allowed to say it? Badass.
I think you can say
I
that.
can say badass.
Yeah.
This is a family podcast, but I think.
And there's some great players on the defensive line, but I do think Tombstone, he's a guy, if he was healthy, everybody talks about he could have been a Hall of Famer. Yeah. And so the talent level there, really high.
Okay. I like that, Tombstone Jackson.
Yep.
Okay. Okay, then my next pick is going to be Aqib Talib.
Okay.
Okay, this guy, when he got the ball in his hands, it was going to the house. Mr. Pick 6.
So you got Champ Bailey and Aqib
Talib.
Talib. That's a good secondary duo.
That's where I'm going there. Aqib Talib. I think that Aqib, when he was with the Broncos, was at the peak of his career, the peak of his powers, part of that no-fly zone. You know, really the anchor of that no-fly zone.
Yep.
And I think I'll go there in that direction. And let's face it, the secondary is really important.
Secondary is really important.
Aqib Talib, Hall of Famer, you think?
I think he deserves to get it. I don't think he's going to be a first ballot guy, but
no.
I think eventually you hope that Aqib Talib gets in the Hall of Fame.
Okay.
I'm not going to do that yet.
I love it. See, this was a little more difficult.
I'm going to add, we're talking about some potential Hall of Famers. I'm going to add the other Hall of Famer who's on the field. I'm going to go with Steve Atwater.
That was going to be my next pick.
Safety, I don't think there's a huge drop-off there between some of the other guys, but Steve, to get a Hall of Famer, the leadership.
Yeah.
I got some guys, Phil, with Tombstone, Steve. They'll knock you out.
I'm a little nervous. Yeah, there. That was a good pick. Steve Atwater, obviously, close friends with him.
Of course. He's going to be mad that you picked Aqib over him.
No, Steve's the kind of guy who's like, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Okay, then for my next pick, I'll go Dennis Smith.
Oh, okay. So you're
his tandem, his partner.
You were afraid to let me get both safeties.
Yeah, because of hard hitting. You brought up the hard hitting.
Yeah.
I was like, okay, I got to get Dennis Smith.
Okay, Dennis Smith.
1981 to 1994, patrolled that secondary with Steve. Steve says that he taught him really how to hit. So,
Dennis Smith taught him how to hit, yeah.
Out of USC, big guy coming down the field. One of the best safeties of all time, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Dennis Smith. So that's where I went there.
Okay.
The secondary's pretty good.
Yeah, you got a nice secondary. Yeah. I like where I'm at outside linebacker because there's 2 options left that I really like there.
Okay.
I'm going to go ahead and scoop up Carl Mecklenburg.
Oh, okay.
For the interior of my defense. He can play all over the field, Phil. Defensive end, inside, outside. I'm going to choose to put him on the inside of my defense there. You got Randy Gradishar. I got Carl Mecklenburg.
Yeah, you had a sort of.
I didn't want you to get Gradishar and Meck in the middle there. That'd be a good pairing.
Pretty good, huh?
So with my 4th pick, I'm going to take Carl Mecklenburg.
Okay, nice. 3-time All-Pro, Carl Mecklenburg, 1983 to 1994. He was there at almost the same time as Dennis Smith. Those are some good defenses.
Good defense.
A lot of Super Bowl appearances.
Yep.
Okay, well, should I go? I'll go Simon Fletcher next, I guess.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, I'll go Simon Fletcher. 97 and a half career sacks. Was the franchise leader for a long time. Really got after the quarterback. Ring of Famer. And funny personality.
Funny personality.
Funny guy.
Barbecue.
Kind of lights up the room when he starts talking. So you pay attention. So I'm going Simon Fletcher.
And I kind of like how this played out for me because I wasn't going to take Simon Fletcher at outside linebacker.
Oh, really?
I'm going to take Elvis Dumerville.
Okay, that was a good pick.
You know, Simon, for as good as he was, obviously franchise leader in sacks, did not ever have a Pro Bowl appearance, did not have an All-Pro. So you compare to how he was against the rest of the league, a guy like Elvis Dumerville, man, when he was on, he's really good. Him paired with Vaughn, obviously we saw that for a very short period of time.
He had 17 sacks in 2009.
Yeah.
Elvis Dumerville. That was pretty good.
Doom.
So you got him in.
So I got Vaughn and Elvis Dumerville as my pass rushers, and I do think there's a pretty decent drop here at outside linebacker to the next guy, but you don't have to take that person now because I've got my two outside linebackers.
I know that's why I had to pick one of them.
You had to.
What if you took?
Yeah, that could have.
I would have been in trouble there a little bit.
Yeah.
If you.
Well, and I just had to take Dumerville because otherwise you could have taken him.
I could have. That's what I was.
Yeah.
See, that's what I was trying to do. Okay. Then I'll go to the D-line next year.
Okay.
And I'll take Trevor Price.
Okay.
Okay, 9 years, 64 sacks. In 1999, he was a first-team All-Pro. I'll take Trevor Price.
Okay.
On the defensive line there.
I like that. Big guy.
Probably the best defensive lineman in Broncos history, I would say. That's what I would say. I know you took Tombstone, but
yeah,
I'm going to go Trevor Price.
Okay.
So go ahead.
Yeah, maybe I don't need to go to corner, obviously, because that's filled, done with outside linebacker.
You haven't taken your cornerbacks.
I know, but I don't need to do that yet. Yeah. I can do that at the very end.
Got it.
Okay. I'm less comfortable with the defensive line in general.
Okay.
Just because I don't, a lot of these guys that were great defensive linemen for the Broncos played a while ago.
Long time ago.
Yeah.
Yes.
But I think I'm going to go with a guy who was, Trevor Price was one of the first team defensive tackles on the Broncos' 50th anniversary team.
Yep.
I'm going to go with the other guy, Reuben Carter.
Okay. Strong pick there. Orange Crush guy. 50th anniversary team. That's good. Nice pick. I guess then I will go with Rulon Jones.
Okay.
11 and a half sacks as a rookie.
Yeah, really good player.
That's pretty good. 2-time Pro Bowler, 73 and a half is what he finished up with. So
I thought I could sneak him past you.
No.
That would have been my...
you don't get Rulon Jones.
That would have been my next
So I got Trevor and Rulon.
Yep.
And you're probably nervous now.
Little nervous. I need a defensive end here. I'm going to go with Paul Smith here.
Okay.
Only
okay.
Ring of Famer there, obviously, besides Tombstone.
11 seasons with the Broncos.
11 seasons. A couple other guys to consider there that I can mention now because I'm done picking defensive linemen. But Big Al, of course, Neil Smith, Lyle Alzado, a lot of options there. But I'm going to go with Paul Smith.
Okay. So let's see. I still need another safety, huh?
You do. We both do.
So I think I'll pick. This is interesting for me. Maybe I'll go Goose Gonsolin there.
Oh, wow.
Goose Gonsolin, All-Pro twice, 46 career interceptions. Of course, he played a long time ago when the Broncos first started playing.
He did.
1960 to 1967. But 46 interceptions. I don't think they just made that up, Eric.
Long time ago.
46 interceptions.
Do you worry about how the athleticism translates?
No, because you're playing in your era.
You still got to be able to cover.
Like the Tombstone Jackson.
Well, that's a rule thing.
Did you
not
take
an athleticism.
Paul Smith? I think you took Paul Smith.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Yeah.
It's true.
Okay, so I got my whole secondary done.
You're done.
I got Champ, Talib, Dennis Smith, and Goose Gonsolin.
It's a nice secondary. I'm going to go over to linebacker now.
Okay.
A guy who is not in the Ring of Fame, but probably should be at some point. I'm going to go with Al Wilson.
Okay, nice. So you got Mech and Al in there.
Yep.
Okay, nice.
So now we're really, I think, just finishing off.
Yeah, we're rounding out some of these picks here. So I guess my other inside linebacker that I'll go with is Tom Jackson.
Okay.
1973 to 1986, three-time Pro Bowler. You know what Tom was really good at? He had good instincts. A lot of interceptions, Eric. 20 interceptions from that inside linebacker squad. He had an instinct. He had the instinct for where that ball was going to go, and he really helped bring along some of the younger guys. Tom Jackson, important role there. So I got Randy and Tom Jackson.
Good pick. I like that. Two guys that know each other.
They know each other.
They know each other. The chemistry, you already built it.
I don't have to.
Sometimes people say, "How long does it take to build the chemistry?"
I don't worry about it.
It already happened.
Yeah.
Okay, let's see. I need a safety and two corners. All right, at a corner, I'm going to start with Louis Wright.
Obvious choice there.
Obvious there. You struggle at all choosing between Talib and Louis Wright? Some people say that Louis Wright's kind of like Talib would have been a few decades ago. Like
yes, but
playmaking. No, I understand why you took Talib.
I did struggle with this a little bit. 26 interceptions for Louis Wright. A lot of people consider him the number 2 cornerback in the franchise's history, but I went with Talib instead. Okay, so you took Talib. I think I need another outside linebacker.
You do.
I went with DeMarcus Ware here.
Okay.
I know his best seasons were in Dallas, but
yeah, I mean he didn't
sort of be that leader for my.
He was a leader. Obviously, there were moments in 2015 where things went well.
I don't love that.
It wasn't the.
I don't love that, but
Yeah.
But still, he made some big plays when it counted.
Yeah, of course.
You know, so like if I really had a big moment, he could live up to that.
And he can do the Hulk smash.
Yeah, like he was still really good when he was at Denver, but his age I think has started to catch up to him where he couldn't play a whole season.
Right.
You know, so
you'll have him for like 6 games of this year.
When it was really important.
Yeah, you'll rest him. Maybe you rest him the first 12 weeks of the year for this.
Let's say like we're gonna play each other. Your Broncos team, my Broncos team. He'll be ready.
He'll show up for that.
He'll
game.
be ready for that. Yeah.
Okay.
So
that's when as DeMarcus would say, that's when the kids separate themselves from the little boys.
Yeah, exactly. Famous quote from DeMarcus Ware there.
Very famous.
Yep.
This safety pick is hard, Phil.
Oh, the final one?
Yeah.
Okay, I think I had a guy, but.
Yeah, well, because of course Justin Simmons, very good player. Look at a guy like Steve Foley.
Yep.
This might, I don't know if this ruffles some feathers a little bit, but a guy with Hall of Fame talent that I think played well for stretches. I'm going to choose Brian Dawkins.
Oh, wow. Okay.
You don't like that?
That's just, I would have gone Billy Thompson for sure there, but.
I think the athleticism that Brian Dawkins had.
You're knocking my DeMarcus Ware. I mean, now you're talking about a guy who.
Brian Dawkins did some stuff here in Denver.
Yeah.
He had an impact. Crawls out of the tunnel, scares some people.
Yeah, but he's a Philadelphia Eagle.
Yeah, but
that's when his best
days were there. But I think he
that's when he was like a top 10 all-time safety.
Yeah.
Philadelphia Eagles.
Yeah, but still,
he was sort of that leadership.
I think it's still a decent contributor.
Okay, yeah. Him and Champ had some nice times.
Yeah.
I would have gone Billy Thompson there though. That's what I would have done. And just for the record, you did not do that.
I did not do that. That's okay.
Okay, and then I think we're down to our last one, right?
We are, yeah. You
right?
need
a
defensive lineman.
Okay, I'm going to go with Keith Traylor, I think.
Okay.
Keith Traylor, 2 stints in Denver. Kind of an interesting career there, Eric. Of course, started with the Broncos, went around a little. I think he was with the Raiders for a touchdown, came back to the Broncos and played a major role on those Super Bowl 32 and 33 teams. And he bulked up, really swallowed up guys there in the middle. So then I went with Keith Traylor. So my line is Trevor Price, Rulon Jones, and Keith Traylor.
It's nice.
That's where I went.
And then I go to corner for my final pick. Some good options here too. This is gonna. I think this will make people a little grumpy.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I didn't think. Okay.
You don't think it?
I thought there was one guy, and I was not sure.
Yeah. I'm gonna go with Pat Surtain.
Oh, holy smokes!
You think that's too much?
Yes. Commenters, get him.
I think if if I'm trying
Get
to,
him.
this guy was already among the best corners in the league, almost a Pro Bowler in year one.
Okay, for the sake of this argument, you're taking his season last year.
Yeah,
That's his only season.
it was a really good season.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you put him with
Yeah.
Louis Wright, like that's the thing is he could be a lot better, obviously,
He could be.
but him last year was still really good.
Really, yeah. But I would have gone with Chris Harris Jr.
Yeah, for the sake of this, with two corners, Chris would have to play outside.
Yeah.
And
I suppose that's true.
Chris is much better, nickel corner wise. Chris is as good as there's been. If we're playing a base defense where he's got to line up outside against a big wide receiver, talk about who are your wide receivers? You had DT.
Yeah, I had DT.
I don't know. I like Surtain's size there.
I had Eric Decker too.
Yeah,
Big.
but
Big guys.
since it's two outside corners, there's no slot.
Yeah.
Chris is best in the slot.
Wow.
If Chris sees us, he'll be mad. I know Chris will be mad.
You made a couple of picks in your secondary that I would have done a little differently, but
Yeah,
that's why this is fun.
it's fun. Okay, so should we recap?
Yeah. Let's recap. Let's go
Okay.
ahead. We can go position by position. So let's start at cornerback, maybe. if
Okay,
that's
yeah.
I have Champ Bailey and Aqib Talib.
Yep.
You have Louis Wright and Pat Surtain.
Pat Surtain
Again.
Well, I just took him once, but it's Pat Surtain again.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. You've got the edge there. I'm not going
I
to
feel like that's pretty good.
deny that. I mean, anytime you have Champ, it just.
And you have Steve Atwater and Brian Dawkins.
I do.
That sounds really good.
It sounds really
sounds
good,
good.
but you don't like it.
Well, no, I like it. That's good. Steve is really good.
Yeah.
The Dawkins, obviously, he's an all-time safety.
Yes.
But for the sake of this argument, you're getting those years.
He's still. He has some decent Pro Bowl, right?
I think he made a Pro Bowl
Two,
here.
just one.
I'm not 100% sure.
But he had a short stint, so again, you get like the sample size.
I
goes
think,
down.
what was it, 3 years, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think he was a second-team All-Pro one of the years.
Not enough to be a Ring of Famer, though.
No, well, you got to play here 4 years.
Yeah. For me, I had Dennis Smith and Goose Gonsolin.
That's nice. I'm going to pull up the Brian Dawkins.
He was an All-Pro twice, Goose Gonsolin, during that time. So, pretty good secondaries here. The defensive side of the ball, I would say traditionally has been stronger for this organization.
2 Pro Bowls in Denver.
Okay.
And I believe a second-team All-Pro.
Okay. That's pretty good. Your linebackers.
Yeah.
You had Von Miller and Elvis Dumerville.
That's my edge rushers.
That's really good.
That's nice.
That's really strong. And then you had Carl Mecklenburg and Al Wilson.
Yes.
That's really good.
It's a nice,
think that feels
nice
really
grouping
nice.
there.
I took Simon Fletcher and DeMarcus Ware.
Mm-hmm.
So I feel like my DeMarcus is very similar to your Dawkins.
Yes.
That's how I view it, at least. And then I have Randy Gradishar and Tom Jackson.
Brian Dawkins made one more Pro Bowl than DeMarcus did.
How many Super Bowls did Dawkins win while he was here?
He's going to win a Super Bowl with this team. Sorry,
Okay.
you had Randy Gradishar
And Tom Jackson. Yeah, Tommy Jackson.
2 pals.
I call him Tommy Jackson.
of course.
Yeah.
Well, you're
you
close.
know him like me. Yeah,
You're close.
Tommy Jackson. Okay, and then defensive line, you have Rich Tombstone Jackson.
Yep.
Probably a top 3 nickname in the league. Of all
Oh,
time.
incredible.
Tombstone.
Yes.
When you saw that guy, you died.
You're scared.
Yeah. Yeah, what do you want on your tombstone?
Right.
Pepperoni and sausage. Okay, that's a old joke there. You had Rich Tombstone Jackson. You had Paul Smith.
Yep.
For people who don't know, 11 seasons with the Broncos, a Ring of Famer, 2-time Pro Bowler.
2-time
Paul
Pro Bowler.
Smith. Okay, and then you had Reuben Carter.
Reuben
right?
Carter.
Reuben Carter.
Needed a guy to fill
Orange
up the middle.
Crush.
Yeah.
Orange Crush, 50th anniversary team there for the Broncos. I took Trevor Price,
Yep.
okay, who I probably consider the best defensive lineman in Broncos history. 9 years, 64 sacks. First team All-Pro in 1999. Then I took Rulon Jones.
Good pick.
Okay, Rulon Jones, a nice pick. And then I took Keith Traylor. Swallow up the middle there.
Yeah.
Those are some good teams.
I think it might come down. Like, I think your
Those are some good
secondary, maybe
teams.
overall, a little bit. Like, your corners are better.
Good teams.
Maybe my, linebacking core is a little better. Maybe it comes down to what people think of the defensive lines.
That's true.
Yeah.
That's a tough pick. I mean,
Good teams.
Those are some good teams. A lot of guys who played in different eras, so I think it's like harder to judge.
And I've guaranteed to offend Chris Harris,
And you
which we love Chris.
Yeah.
And
Billy Thompson.
Sertan's really good.
Billy Thompson just retired from the organization. 4 decades of work
Yeah.
for the Orange and Blue.
That's right. Ring of Famer.
You're like, I think Brian Dawkins. Yeah. I'm just saying you did
Can
that.
you imagine Brian Dawkins flying around out there?
With Steve Atwater.
Yeah.
You would not go across the middle.
No, you'd just be afraid to do
would
anything.
not do
You would have to run the ball every play because you'd be too afraid to.
Even then.
Yeah, then you'd be even more afraid.
Yeah. That's a scary
We'd
defense.
be, I mean, Tombstone.
We did not pick like a John
Those
Lynch.
two
Did not make this
safeties.
team.
Yeah, maybe John should have been
another good safety there. The other name that I thought maybe
I should have taken John over Brian Dawkins.
D-line, one guy who could be in that conversation is Derek Wolfe. I
Yeah.
think he played a long time for the Broncos there.
With the Lynch.
Huh?
I'm rattled by the Lynch now.
Oh, yeah.
We love Johnny Lynch.
We do. Johnny. Yeah, that's when you know him like we do.
When you do.
It's Johnny Lynch. Yeah. You've offended some people.
Yeah. Lynch had
I had to go with
3
the
Pro
Goose.
Bowls? 4? Did he make one in every season?
I think every season
Yeah.
when he was here, yeah. I think.
Maybe that's where I went astray. Maybe I should have gone with Johnny. Too late now.
Pat Surtain, that is the only current Bronco that made either of our teams.
Yeah, and he's only played 1 season.
Yeah. I think that you did some projecting, but the parameters of this conversation kind of limit that.
No, I think Pat Surtain's ability last year, especially if he
Yeah.
was the number 2 corner. Like, he was the number 1 corner last year.
Yeah.
He was the number 2 corner on this team. Steve can help him out a little bit.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm okay with that.
All right. Well, now it's up to NZ Nation.
That's
Let us
right.
know.
I'm going to get roasted, I think.
I don't think I even made any errors this time.
We'll see later, I guess.
I feel pretty good about how I performed today. Yeah. Any shout-outs, Eric, before we say goodbye here?
Shout out to Liz Gerald's.
Of course.
Yeah. A lot of good community work going on.
Summertime, but it's still
Community.
community time.
Yep.
And the Broncos, for the 3rd consecutive year, are up for the ESPN Humanitarian Award.
Yep. Humanitarian Team of the Year.
Team of the Year. Yeah.
3rd consecutive year as a finalist. Impressive.
Yeah. Katie Schuster, Allie Engelken,
Bobby Mestis.
Bobby Mestis. They do tremendous work.
They do.
So a sincere shout-out this time.
Yes. As opposed to previous times.
Yeah.
Gosh.
Also, how about a shout-out to Jim Sacamano? How about that, Eric? Longtime PR director for the Broncos. Sort of invented what it meant to be a PR director.
If you were drafting an all-time PR team, are you taking Jim Sacamano first?
They're taking Jim Sacamano, I think.
Okay. I'll take Patrick Smythe.
Well, of course, the current PR director, you always go that direction.
Well, you did it. I'll let him know after. Now you're in big trouble.
Well, I was just trying to pay some
homage.
regards here to Jim
Yeah,
Sacamano.
you did that.
He's going
Nice
into
job.
the Hall of Fame.
Yeah, as a contributor.
He's being recognized. Of course, the Hall of Fame this week recognizing people like equipment managers.
Yep.
People who make the teams run. PR directors.
Radio people, I think.
I think some radio names, in there. So, congratulations to Jim Sacamano.
Yeah, congrats, Jim.
Anytime you're recognized by the Pro Football Hall of Fame, you're immortalized at that point.
It's true.
So, your legacy is protected. So, shout out to Jim Sacamano. I eventually imagine Patrick Smythe will also be joining him
Well, I picked him.
in there. So,
Picked him. Right after this, right after we leave the studio, I'll go let him know. We'll see if you're on the show next week.
okay, yeah, maybe I won't be even here.
No, only kidding. Congrats, Jim.
Yes. Anything else? Anybody else?
I don't think
to get
so.
to? I'm trying to think if there are any other shout-outs. There's just a lot going on.
Yeah, so much going on.
So, all right, that's going to do it for us. For Eric Dahl, I'm Phil Milani. You've been listening to
The Neutral Zone.